As we age, it's easy to get caught up in worrying about things that don't matter. We often find ourselves reflecting on our past decisions, trying to predict the future, or stressing over what others think of us. But if there's one thing that aging teaches us, it's that many of these thoughts are simply distractions. Today, let's talk about 5 things that you should absolutely not be worrying about in your golden years. As we age, one of the most common things that hold us back is the weight of the past. We find ourselves constantly looking over our shoulders, reminiscing about decisions we wish we had made differently, the opportunities we let slip away, or the mistakes we wish we could undo. But here's the thing. The past is gone, and the only way it has power over us is if we let it. Think about it for a moment. How much time have you spent over the years reflecting on things you can't change? We all do it. We replay events in our minds, wondering what we could have done differently, wishing we had taken that job, moved to that city, or spent more time with certain people. But let's face it, the past is a finished chapter. It's already written, and no amount of regret can change the words on the page. You can't go back, and dwelling on what could have been only takes away from the life you're living right now. Instead of focusing on what you can't change, shift your mindset to the present. Ask yourself, what can I do today? Maybe it's learning a new hobby, making a new friend, or simply enjoying the beauty of the moment. There is so much more to be excited about in the present and future than there ever was in the past. The richness of your life now is not defined by past mistakes or missed opportunities. What defines it is the choices you make right now. Each day is a chance to create a new memory, learn something new, or find joy in something small. And that is where your power lies, not in regret, but in the moments still waiting to be lived. And then there's the way we often get caught up in worrying about what others think of us. For so long, we seek validation from others, whether it's from our parents, our peers, or society at large. But as we age, that need for external validation should start to diminish. The truth is, when you get to a certain point in life, you realize that most people are too caught up in their own lives to pay as much attention to you as you might have thought. The truth is liberating because once you let go of that need for approval, you free yourself from a heavy burden. Think back to those moments in your life when you've tried so hard to meet someone else's expectations. When you said yes, when you really wanted to say no, when you changed something about yourself just to fit in, or when you followed someone else's dream instead of your own. How did that make you feel? Were you truly happy? Or did you feel like you were betraying your own authenticity just to please someone else? As we age, we begin to see through the illusion that other people's opinions are what define us. The truth is, the only opinion that matters at the end of the day is your own. Take a moment to reflect on the wisdom that comes with age. You've been through so much, and the years have taught you that the only thing that truly matters is staying true to yourself. You don't need anyone else's approval to live your best life. Think about the things that bring you joy, the things that light up your soul, and the relationships that nourish you. These are the things that matter. As you move through life, people will always have something to say. There will always be opinions, judgments, and unsolicited advice. But in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel about yourself, how you view your life, and the choices you make. It's a liberating feeling to stop worrying about other people's thoughts and to instead focus on your own happiness. One of the greatest gifts of aging is the ability to shed the weight of others' expectations. The pressure to please everyone fades as you realize that true fulfillment comes from living authentically. The people who truly matter will love and support you for who you are, not for who you pretend to be. And those who judge or criticize, well, they aren't the ones you should be seeking validation from anyway. It's time to stop wasting precious energy on trying to be what someone else wants you to be. Instead, invest that energy into becoming more of who you truly are. So, let go of the need for validation. Embrace your uniqueness. Celebrate the life you've lived and the person you've become. Because when you stop caring about what others think, you give yourself the freedom to live life on your own terms, without fear of judgment or rejection. The older you get, the more you'll realize that the only opinion that matters is your own. And the more you trust that, the more you'll be at peace with who you are. As we age, it's almost inevitable that we start to evaluate the things we've accumulated over the years. Our homes, our cars, our possessions, and wonder if it was all worth it. We spend so much of our lives chasing after material wealth, striving to keep up with the latest trends, collecting items that we believe will make us happy. But when we look back, we often realize that those things, those possessions, don't really bring lasting happiness. In fact, as we age, we often find that the more we have, the more we're burdened by it. Have you ever thought about the last time you bought something and thought, this is going to make me happy, only to find that it didn't? Maybe it was a new car, a shiny piece of technology, or that gorgeous piece of furniture that you just had to have. At first, it brought excitement, but over time, it just became another thing to maintain, another item in the clutter of life. As we grow older, we start to realize that material things, while nice to have, aren't the key to a fulfilling life. What truly matters in old age is not the things you own, but the relationships you've built, the memories you've made, and the experiences you've had. When you look back on your life, will you remember the house you lived in, or the moments you shared with your loved ones? Will you remember the things you bought, or the joy of traveling to new places, or the laughter you shared with friends and family? The truth is, when we're on our deathbeds, no one ever wishes they had spent more time accumulating possessions. Instead, they wish they'd spent more time with the people they loved, creating lasting memories. So why waste your energy and time focusing on material wealth? There's nothing wrong with enjoying nice things, of course, but don't let the pursuit of possessions distract you from the things that truly bring joy. Instead of investing in things that will eventually lose their value, focus on experiences that enrich your life. Take a trip you've always dreamed of. Spend more time with those who matter most to you. Volunteer for a cause that's close to your heart. These are the things that will make you truly feel alive and fulfilled. And then there's the fear of change. As we get older, change can feel overwhelming. It's easy to become attached to the routines we've built over the years, to the way things have always been. We resist new technology, new ideas, and new ways of doing things because we're comfortable in our own familiar world. But here's the truth. Change is a constant in life. It doesn't matter how old you are, change will always come. The key isn't to resist it, but to learn how to embrace it. Have you ever found yourself saying, I don't want to learn that new technology, or things were better when I was younger? It's a common sentiment, especially as we age. We look at the younger generation with their gadgets and their apps and feel like we're being left behind. But here's the thing, if we allow ourselves to fear change, we also close ourselves off to the many opportunities that come with it. Technology, for example, can offer ways to stay connected with loved ones, make life easier, and even keep your mind sharp. Think about all the things you've learned throughout your life. When you were younger, you didn't know how to drive a car, cook a meal, or even how to navigate the world as an adult. But you learned, you adapted, you embraced change, and it made you stronger. The same approach is possible in old age. Whether it's learning how to use a smartphone, understanding new trends, or even changing your daily routine, you can grow and adapt, just as you did in your younger years. Embracing change doesn't mean you have to completely alter who you are or abandon your values. It simply means being open to the possibility of growth. Change can be empowering, and it can open up new doors that you never thought possible. Rather than fearing the future, see it as an opportunity to discover new passions, meet new people, and experience life in fresh ways. Change keeps you alive and engaged. It's the force that drives innovation, creativity, and personal growth. So don't be afraid of it. Don't resist it. Instead, lean into it with curiosity and excitement. The world is always changing, and by embracing it, you're giving yourself the chance to keep evolving, to stay mentally sharp, and to live fully in the moment. It's easy to let the fear of change stop us from trying new things. But in reality, the only thing that stays constant is change itself. So rather than fearing it, let's take it as an opportunity to thrive, to embrace the new, and to look forward to the endless possibilities that life still has to offer. As we move through life, there's a natural tendency to want to make everyone around us happy. We don't want to disappoint anyone, and so we bend over backwards to meet the expectations of others, often at the expense of our own happiness and well-being. But here's the thing, trying to please everyone is an impossible task, especially as we age. And if we keep chasing that elusive approval, we risk losing sight of our own desires, values, and personal joy. Have you ever said yes to something you didn't want to do just because you didn't want to upset someone? Maybe it was attending an event you weren't interested in, agreeing to take on extra work, or even just conforming to social norms because you didn't want to rock the boat. At the time, it might have seemed easier to go along with it than to say no. But over time, this habit of people-pleasing can leave you feeling drained, resentful, and disconnected from your tea. As we age, we gain a certain level of wisdom and clarity that allows us to see things more clearly. We begin to understand that life is short and our time is limited. Every yes we give means a no to something else, whether it's our time, our energy, or our peace of mind. And here's the truth. You don't owe anyone your time or energy if it doesn't align with your own happiness. Saying no is a powerful act of self-respect, and as we age, we become more and more capable of drawing those boundaries. In fact, the older we get, the more we realize that it's not only okay to prioritize our own needs, but it's necessary for our own well-being. When you stop trying to please everyone, you make room for the people and activities that truly matter. You allow yourself to spend time doing what you love, with the people you cherish, without the guilt or pressure of meeting others' expectations. It's liberating, it's freeing, and it's something that, as we get older, becomes increasingly important. So the next time someone asks you to do something you don't want to do, take a moment and ask yourself, is this going to bring me joy? Is it aligned with what I value? If the answer is no, then don't be afraid to say no. Your time and energy are precious. Spend them on things that bring you fulfillment, not on trying to meet the expectations of others. Now, let's talk about one of the most powerful and often overlooked fears we face as we age. The fear of time running out. As we grow older, we become more aware of the passage of time. We start to see our peers aging, or we think about the things we still want to accomplish, and we feel a sense of urgency. We worry about how much time we have left to do everything we've dreamed of doing. But this fear of time running out is often rooted in a mindset that tells us we're running out of opportunities, that we must check off every item on our bucket list before it's too late. But here's something to consider. Time isn't a finite resource in the way we often think of it. The truth is, you can still live fully and meaningfully no matter where you are in life. The key is to shift your focus from fearing time running out to embracing the time you have, however much or little it may seem. The fear of time slipping away often comes from trying to measure our lives by some arbitrary standard, by comparing ourselves to others, or by thinking that we need to accomplish everything before we reach a certain age. But everyone's journey is different, and there's no expiration date on dreams or fulfillment. As we age, we begin to realize that it's not about how much time we have, but how we choose to spend it. If we focus on the present, on enjoying the moment we're in, time becomes less of a fear and more of a precious resource to be cherished. Rather than measuring success by how many things we can tick off a list, we can start measuring it by how deeply we live in each moment, how much joy we find in the people around us,